Hello everybody, we're officially live on the channel as we have a major winter storm on the way heading towards our regions here. Hope everybody is having a great day so far. I'll be here to answer any of your guys' questions as we are officially live on the channel. So, we do have this major winter storm ongoing. If I go to the MRMS right now, it just shows composite reflectivity. It's not really wanting to really show any winter weather for some reason. They don't have that option on Weather Bell. But as you can see right now, we've got a big time snowstorm currently occurring here in these areas. We've got a lot of snow. A lot of the areas to the south are just getting rain right now. Oops, didn't mean to do that. But we've got a big time winter storm currently ongoing here. Oklahoma City, you just saw a lot of snow. This is currently around starting to end for Oklahoma City areas, a snowstorm. Still really bad travel conditions. I'll be staying off those roads there in Oklahoma City. Over there to Dallas, Texas, I think it might switch back to snow for a little bit. I think you guys might have been in the middle of more of the wintry mix for a little while. But you guys did see a big overachiever on those snowfall totals there. Now, to the north, Kansas City are going to start to get into the snow. Columbia, Missouri, and Springfield is going to start to get into the snow. I think Little Rock, you're switching into snow now across those regions there. For the forecast for snowfall, guys, remember, I will answer all of your questions. If you're asking for your certain area, your certain city, your certain state, I will completely answer your guys' questions across the U.S. here. So we've got a wide swath of snow that's going to occur across Arkansas into Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indianapolis, Ohio, into Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia here, with the heaviest totals on the national blood of models around the Tennessee and the Arkansas areas. This model tends to be a little bit maybe underachieving what we could see for snowfall, so I'm going to go to the actual National Weather Service NDFD forecast, which shows this wide swath of snow for a lot of the U.S. here. For the Dallas-Fort Worth areas, the snowstorm is basically going to an end pretty soon here. But if we go to the central U.S., we're looking at the potential for the highest totals of snow around the Little Rock, Arkansas region, where we could see 7 to 9 inches of snow across Little Rock there, which is a lot of snow for those areas. As you can see, a wide swath of 6 inches or above in that purple areas, and then a huge area of 2 inches or more in the blue. It shows Dallas getting 4.1 inches over there. Oklahoma City's basically done with this event, but showing Springfield to get around that 3 to 5 inch areas, showing 2 to 4 for St. Louis. Evansville, it's showing maybe even 4 to 6 inches. I think it's showing more like maybe 3 to 6 inches of snow for there. It's a wide range there for Evansville. Paducah over there, you're looking at maybe 4 to 6 inches. Definitely possible there. Maybe even 4 to 7. Memphis, I think you guys will see 5 to 8 inches there in Memphis. Over to, I think we're going to see 6 to 8 inches over there towards Nashville. Sorry about that. And then for Indianapolis regions, more like 2 to 4 inches for that area, with this wide swath of snow that we're going to be seeing across these areas here. Atlanta, Georgia, maybe up to an inch. I'm sorry, this kind of shifted away from your area mostly there, and for people that are living down south, especially for Birmingham, where a dusting of snow is really more likely. If we go to the freezing rain totals, though, where it's a little higher, we got a little bit of freezing rain totals south of the Little Rock areas, but the main area of freezing rain that I wanted to mention is this big time area of freezing rain that ranges all the way from Alabama all the way up to North Carolina here, with the highest ice totals for the Georgia areas, where up to above a quarter of an inch of ice is definitely potentially possible there for the Georgia areas. South Carolina areas, it's looking like northern and South Carolina, just above the Columbia areas, could see up to a quarter of an inch of ice there. Charlotte, you could see 1/10 of an inch to 2/10 of an inch of ice there for Charlotte, North Carolina. and this wide swath of ice. Rally, I think you can see up to a 10th inch of ice there for rally areas from this winter storm here, guys. So yeah, definitely a big snowstorm occurring. If we go to the HRR 3 km model and kind of zoom in on these details here of the timing, real quick. Here, this is the 00Z HRR coming in. So the new model run is coming in by the 00Z HRR model run. It's showing that this storm is going to leave Oklahoma City areas around right now. It's showing a little bit of maybe like a mix for the Dallas-Fort Worth areas right now. And then it's showing that maybe around the 10 to 11 p.m. time frame, it switches back to a quick round of snow there for Dallas and Fort Worth areas. Could maybe accumulate up to another inch of snow there for Dallas and Fort Worth before this event quickly starts to end for the Dallas and Fort Worth areas. We're looking at maybe a little bit of a kind of a... The Little Rock areas are really, really close to the... sleet there, but they're looking like they could just barely stay into the snow there. They're going to get the highest totals that's closest to the sleet there for the Little Rock areas. Definitely a lot of snow potential there. It's already started there. And the heaviest of the snow, I think, is going to definitely come in overnight hours tonight. Definitely be seeing off those roads there in the Little Rock areas here. It's already kind of approaching Kansas City, but Memphis, Tennessee, this is looking like it's going to reach your area around midnight tonight. Over there towards the Birmingham area, sleet/freezing rain. It's showing more sleet could impact your area there in Birmingham around starting around 2 in the morning for the Birmingham areas. Paducah, this could start for your area around 5 in the morning here for this system. St. Louis, Missouri, this is going to start around 4 to 5 a.m.-ish, I'd say maybe 3 to 5 a.m. for the St. Louis regions there. If you look at the Nashville timing, this is going to start in Nashville around 6 to 7 a.m. tomorrow and continue throughout the day for the Nashville areas. These snow totals might be a little less in this model, but we're going to look at this. I think the HRR might be predicting a tad bit lower amounts than some of the other models showing. That's definitely a little bit further north, I'm noticing. Actually, no, pretty much the same what the two models are showing there for those areas. If you guys have any questions, I will make sure to answer all of your guys' questions. Guys, trust me, I will answer any of your questions there in the chat. Just make sure to ask them if you need to know about what's going to go on for your area for snow totals, or just basically anything for that for your area. Then I will 100% help you out there. Just make sure to ask me. Put a little chat in the chat there. 1 second, real quick. Everybody is having a great day so far, and I hope you guys are getting snow from this system. Remember to be staying off those roads though, but I definitely hope you guys are having a fun time as this winter wonderland of snow is coming, especially for these areas. It's really rare as this winter storm is impacting some pretty far southern spots there in the regions for the system across the south. Okay, so if we look back to the HRR model, it's literally coming in right now. Wow, the 18Z shows a lot of heavy snow. It shows snow reaching Nashville by 7 a.m. then just picking up, and the heaviest of it showing around 1 p.m. tomorrow. It shows a little bit of mix. That's some really far north mix that it's showing there. Kind of surprising to me that it's showing it that far north. And Memphis is showing the snowstorm is going to continue for your areas a really long time. And it actually shows the sleet just barely staying south of the Memphis areas. So Memphis, you're getting pretty lucky from this system it's looking like here. The model is pretty high up here. For the HRRR model, they're showing around 2 to 3 inches for St. Louis metropolitan areas. It's showing around 3 to 6 inches of snow. I'd say maybe 4 to 6 inches of snow for the Springfield metropolitan area. It's showing 8 to 10 inches for Little Rock, Arkansas. That may be a little overdoing, maybe a little underdoing it. Really, I don't know. It's so far south that it just seems so surprising that they're getting that much snow there. Kansas City is showing around 1 inch to 2 inches. Now, Evansville, I think the snowstorm is still occurring for those areas in Evansville. Yeah, during that model, but it's showing nearly 5 inches of snow from this system. That's definitely a lot of snow that it's showing there. And then it quickly ends, showing a little bit of potential like snow squall activity there across Missouri and Illinois. But definitely a big time winter storm for a lot of people across these areas. You know, it's showing 7 to 9 inches for the Memphis regions here. 7 to 9. That is a lot of snow there for the Memphis areas. Look at kind of the Ohio Valley view here. 1 second real quick. It's not fully done there for the Nashville areas, but I think we are expecting 6 to 8 inches of snow for the Nashville metropolitan region. Remember, this snowfall event could overdo, could underdo. We really don't know. But Evansville is predicting a lot of snow. So we're big time totals here, guys. Fort Smith, Arkansas. This thing's showing good 5 to 8 inches of snow for your area from this system here, guys. I wanted to mention, let's go to the National Weather Service offices to get more in-depth details on who's going to be impacted by this. National Weather Service St. Louis, this is my National Weather Service office. This shows 2 to 4 inches of snow for the St. Louis areas. Remember to, guys, ask questions in the chat. I will answer any of your guys' questions here. For the Little Rock, Arkansas area, big time area, snow is starting to come in there, I'm noticing. The snow forecast, I gotta go kind of zoom this in here because it's. So for the Little Rock areas, it's showing maybe a little bit further north of the Little Rock areas. This model is showing a little bit further north, and there's still a little bit less confidence because there could be a little bit lower snowfall amounts over in these areas due to more wintry mix and freezing rain. That's why it's showing a little less for Little Rock. I think Little Rock could still get similar totals, but it's showing Russellville getting the highest snow totals, with local banning could lead to even higher totals within these regions. Showing 8 to 12 inches of snow. That is a lot. 8 to 12 inches of snow for Russellville and Mountain View there. Little Rock, it's showing the border between 7 to 9 inches of snow. Jonesboro, 7 to 9 inches of snow across those regions. It's showing Pine Bluff to get a little less because of the wintry mix to occur across those areas. It's showing more like maybe 2 to 4 inches of snow for those areas there across Pine Bluff in Arkansas. So if we switch to another site here, let's go back to Dallas and Fort Worth. Additional snowfall, I'd say maybe 1 to 2 inches for that area there. Let's go to the National Weather Service in Memphis and see what they're thinking. So the National Weather Service in Memphis, what I see for the East Tennessee area near Greenville. Let's see. Let's check out where Greenville is here. Greenville, Tennessee. Okay, this is north of Pigeon Forge and Hatley Point Ski Resort. Okay. So I will look at your area real quick, but yeah, I'll actually look at that right now since you asked me questions. So if we go back, okay, Greenville here. Let's kind of zoom this in. So for the Greenville areas, we are looking at the potential for a lot of snow there in Greenville. This is kind of blurred for some reason. I don't know why it's like that, but it's saying a little bit of lower confidence in the highlighted areas in red, which includes Greenville. That's why it's showing a little less snow. for those areas, and then a little more into the mountainous areas. Greenville seems to be just barely north of the mountainous areas, but it's showing 2 to 3 inches of snow. With a little lower confidence, you could get more snow there in Greenville. There's a little bit of lower confidence. 2 to 3 inches of snow is looking like what's being forecasted there for the Greenville areas. Knoxville, 4 to 6 inches of snow for those areas. In Chattanooga, 3 to 4, but it's a little more uncertain. So I'd say more 2 to 4 inches of snow for Greenville, but it's still pretty uncertain from the system right now. As they don't have too much. It seems like they don't have a lot of confidence for those areas really close to the that is right next to the mountains. Memphis, you're looking at 6 to 8 inches of snow from this system here. 6 to 8 inches of snow for Jackson areas. If we go over to the Nashville metropolitan region, it's showing maybe a little bit less than some of the other models are. Well, actually, no, this is what it's showing. So it's showing a good 6 to 8 inches of snow for the Nashville metro areas. 6 to 8 inches for Waverly there. Clarksville, 6 to 8 inches. It's got a little red circled area with a 50 to 80% chance of 6 inches plus of snow, including Nashville and Jamestown for those areas. Yeah, the mountains will look cool, as it looks like a little more snow totals there for those areas. A little less just right between the border of the mountains and then the flatter areas, I think, is what it's there. There's a little less confidence there. But in eastern Tennessee. 6 to 8 for Nashville. If we go to the Georgia areas, it says potential for ice/sleet to overperform in the Atlanta area, metro areas, and further north. Their ice accumulations are showing a lot of ice, definitely there. It's kind of hard. The view is not the best. I zoomed it in there. There we go. So it's showing that Atlanta sees around a quarter of an inch of ice there for the Atlanta areas. It's showing Gainesville to get a quarter of an inch to a half an inch of ice. Anywhere in this red regions is looking at a quarter of an inch to a half an inch of ice. It's maybe on the lower side a little bit there it's showing quarter of an inch to a half an inch of ice for Canton areas. Then further south of the Atlanta metro, it's showing a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch of ice for those areas there in northern Georgia. Now, if we go towards the National Weather Service in Charlotte, North Carolina here, everybody, we are looking at, let's zoom this in real quick. We are looking at around a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch of ice for the Charlotte metropolitan area in North Carolina there. Further south, Chester into Rock Hill into Lawrence and Greenwood down there in northern North Carolina is looking at more of the quarter of an inch to a half an inch of ice areas. Asheville, it's shown really low ice, maybe up to a tenth of an inch of ice there. Not too much for those areas, though. Now, if we go to the National Weather Service in Columbia, South Carolina here, it's showing a lot of uncertainty across the red area, these areas right here, and then you're most likely to see freezing rain further north. There's still a lot of challenges. We really don't know what's going to occur for the National Weather Service in Columbia there, because it's really far south there in South Carolina, but it's a lot of uncertainty because it could be snow, sleet, or rain. We really don't know what's going to happen, as the system could be further south or north. It really depends on what happens with the warm nose. But Columbia, you're looking at a tenth of an inch to, not about 0.01 to tenth of an inch of ice, so up to tenth of an inch of ice there. Newberry, looking at tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch of ice. Lancaster, South Carolina, we're forecasting tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch of ice for those areas there. Now, if we go to the National Weather Service in Raleigh, North Carolina, they don't really have much of a map here. They're just saying winter storm warnings and watches be ready for some reason. I think we can maybe try to figure out the forecast. No, they don't even have it, surprisingly, in the Raleigh, North Carolina. But for the Raleigh, North Carolina areas, I think they're forecasting up to 3 inches of snow with ice accumulations up to 0.2 of an inch for that area there. Now, if we go down to the National Weather Service in Paducah, Kentucky here, we are looking at a lot of snow here. We're looking at Evansville Indiana to be getting 4 to 5 inches of snow. 4 to 6 inches of snow there for Paducah, really close to the border between 5 to 7. Poplar Bluff seeing 5 to 7. St. Louis 2 to 4 inches, really close to the 3 to 4, but just staying a little further south. 5 to 7 there in Murray, and 4 to 6 in Hopkinsville. It's showing 4 to 6 in Nashville. I'd say a little more, 6 to 8 in Nashville. I don't know why it has that on the border there, but yeah, that's definitely what we are looking at here. Let's go to the National Weather Service in Birmingham real quick. They're just showing an area of elevated impacts with hazardous driving conditions for Birmingham. It says impact timing from 2 a.m. to noon. It doesn't really have any snowfall map or anything like that. If we go to the National Weather Service in Indianapolis here, we're looking at 3 to 4 inches of snow for the Indianapolis areas in the forecast. 3 to 5 further south towards Vincennes. 3 to 4 in Franklin, 2 to 4 in Noblesville, then further north into Indiana, looking at 2 to 3 in Lafayette, 2 to 3 in Crawfordsville, 2 to 3 in Covington, 2 to 3 in Delphi, and 2 to 4 in Comoco areas. There. 3 to 4 inches of snow for Rushville and Greensburg too. So yeah, 3 to 4 inches of snow forecasted there for the Indianapolis areas. If we look at the National Weather Service in Wilmington, they're showing 3 to 4 inches of snow for Cincinnati and 2 to 3 inches there for Columbus. The National Weather Service in Louisville, Kentucky. Let's take a look at this real quick. Okay, so the National Weather Service in Louisville, Kentucky is showing 4 to 6 inches of snow for the Louisville areas here. 4 to 6 inches for Elizabethtown. Further south, Paducah 4 to 6. 6 to 8 in Hopkinsville. 3 to 4 in Lexington is what they're predicting. 3 to 4 in Pikeville. So 4 to 6 inches is looking like the forecast for Louisville areas there. 4 to 6 in Elizabethtown in the forecast here. If you look at the updated HRRR model run, let's see if they have any, if it's looking pretty good. Okay. Definitely a lot of snow. It's showing a little bit further north on the worm nose there for Georgia and Alabama, sadly. That's not great. That sucks, but hey, at least they're getting snow. It shows a start, actually, for the oh, sorry, I didn't really have it centered there. But it shows Charlotte, North Carolina, starting at, Charlotte, North Carolina, starting out of snow here around the 3 p.m., 2 to 3 p.m. time frame, and continuing as snow, then eventually switching to sleet and freezing rain around 7 p.m., and continuing as that. They're barely on the border there between the snow and the freezing, and the wintry mix ice/freezing rain there for Charlotte. Barely just missing it on this model. Then it shows the snowfall spreading north. There was some heavier snowfall there for southern Virginia into northern North Carolina areas here. A wide swath of snow is expected from this major winter storm, everybody, as we've got tons of winter storm warnings in effect across southern Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, northern Alabama, northern Georgia, northern Mississippi, northern South Carolina, into western portions of North Carolina and northern portions of South Carolina there, Kentucky, all the way into southern Indiana, with a lot of wintry weather on pace here. I wanted to mention something real quick, if I can find it. Alright, no, I can't find it. But, yeah, just wide swaths of snow. If we look at here, the name 3 kilometers started out. Let's see. No, not yet. So, we're looking at a ton of snow in these areas, going from 3 inches for the St. Louis areas, 8 to 10, I'd say more, maybe 7 to 9 there for Little Rock. 6 to 9 inches of snows, looking at forecast for Memphis. We could see maybe 6 to 8 inches of snow, maybe a little less there for Nashville areas. Fort Smith looking like 7 to 9 inches of snow possible. Springfield looking at maybe 4 to 5 inches of snow, 4 to 6. So a lot of snow is forecasted here from this system. Hope everybody gets a good winter storm from this. we are going to be ending this stream here, guys. I hope everybody did like this little briefing I have on what's going to occur for these areas. I wanted to mention, actually, real quick before we end the stream, we've already got snowfall starting here for Columbia, Jefferson City. Springfield, you've already got snow starting there. Snowfall is starting to end there for the Oklahoma City. We might have a surge of snowfall for the Oklahoma City areas, but snow's starting to end there. McAllister getting a ton of snow. Also, we could see it's a lot of rain right now there for the Dallas areas. Maybe like a mix to maybe ice there for the Dallas areas, but we could see a little bit of snow form on the backside. The HRR was showing we could see a little bit of that. Down there towards Little Rock, Arkansas areas, it is switched over to snow now, and you're gonna get the heaviest snow of this system there for Little Rock. Maybe even little points further north, I'd say maybe this area could see the heaviest snow of this entire storm here. I hope everybody does have a great day, everybody.